Hello, everybody, and welcome to Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat. I'm your host, Edward S. Redcar, and today I have the awesome pleasure of speaking with actress and print model, runway model, film stunt expert, Helena-Alexis Seymour. And welcome to the show. And how are you doing today?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful sunny day in Los Angeles, so hey.
Well, I'm glad it's sunny somewhere. It's sunny here back in New York State, but we're still wanting on the warm weather. But that'll come a couple months from now, so we can wait for that. So yeah, it's an extreme pleasure for me to have you on my show, and thank you for your gracious acceptance of my invitation some time ago. And um, what I usually like to start asking each of my guests, no matter what they do, acting, singing, or whatever, is how they got into the business they're in. So um, I'll just start off with your modeling. You mentioned in a January Instagram post that you were invited back to the International Models and Talent Agency, or IMTA, and that was a Model Talent Convention, and you were asked back as a alumni and judge,
Yep.
and you had the honor and opportunity of presenting the awards to all of the talent of the future that showed up at that event. And in that, I remember you mentioning that that was where your career began when you were just 8 years old. And that got me to thinking, have you always been interested in modeling, or did that opportunity that was available to you, is that what got you interested in modeling?
So I actually grew up very shy and introverted, very shy. And somehow I loved performing those. So in my basement, I would just put on little like dance shows or skits for my family because down in the basement where I knew my parents, I was more relaxed and comfortable. And being on stage, it felt like I had permission to talk and be outgoing. And
Oh,
my
okay.
And so they put me in dance class at first. So being in dancing and on stage, and I was like traveling for my dance, and I was getting more confident with being on stage. And then that kind of led into beauty pageants. We found the Sunburst beauty pageant competition that was going on. So again, for me to be on stage, which kind of trickled into the modeling, and in the talent section, I did my dance. And that kind of led into us being invited because my parents own the modeling agency in Canada, Angie's Models and Talent. So
Okay.
yeah, my mom actually opened the modeling agency because she saw how shy I was and how free I was on stage, that she was like, maybe I can do this for other girls and put them on a runway and let them shine on the stage and gain confidence where they could take it into the real world where they're naturally shy and introverted like my daughter. So she
Okay.
opened up this modeling school to just develop girls, teach them how to do their hair, makeup, and walk down the runway with confidence, shoulders back, not thinking it would take off into a huge agency.
Hmm.
The Model and Talent Convention, IMTA, found them online and called her up and invited her to be part of the convention in New York back in the 90s. And she took a group of maybe 5 people from Cornwall, Ontario, where we're originally from, and I was part of that group. And we competed and we won awards and we got agents interested in us from around the world. And that's when my mom's agency kind of changed to an agency from a school, because now she's placing models in Paris and actors in Los Angeles. And that agency is growing. And now people are interested in me. So I was like, oh, acting is fun. Let me try acting. And modeling was always something I was doing because of the beauty pageants. But that kind of, it was a natural process that none of us saw this coming, but it just kind of like snowballed on its own. And then I
Okay.
commercial when I was 10 years old. And that's when I really fell in love with acting and knew that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. That was a long-winded answer, but that's how I got started.
No, no, quite no. I mean, that's really interesting. I like to know all about those things, and the viewers here, the fans, they like to know all about it. So there's never too much. There's never too much to the story. Whatever you want to tell, go ahead. So then, uh, about the modeling and the acting. So then, sort of the acting would it be safe to say for me to say that it was sort of a byproduct of modeling then, since that's kind of
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Acting wasn't my original plan. Like it was
Mhm.
just modeling and dance was my thing. Modeling and dance. And then I
Mhm.
realized that acting, I can combine like movement and the characters that I embody in the modeling, but also using my voice, which was important for me because I'm so shy that I need to open up my throat chakra. So I was like, okay, so let's add that in the mix and see how that goes. And the first time I was on set, booked my first commercial, that's when I knew. Because I would go on auditions and I wouldn't give my 100% because I didn't know how to memorize lines properly. And I was like, oh, this is so hard. Da, 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 da. And then one day I was like, my brother and I both had this audition for Post Golden Raisin Crisp cereal.
Okay.
And my mom was 100% sure my brother would book it because he's the one with the personality and he would book all the jobs we'd go on. So when the phone rang that they were trying to give me the job, my mom was like, are you sure? To me, like, oh, so that kind of triggered me to want to book it even more. Like, I already booked it, but to book further
Okay.
roles, no one believes in me. If I'm the only one who believes in me, well, then that's all I need. And now, like, I'm in my 30s and I'm on this self love train where it's like, no one needs to believe in you. As long as you believe in you and you love you, no one can touch you.
That's right. That's right. I totally agree 100%. Yeah. I I always refer to that feeling that you're describing. I always describe think of it as the magic. I don't know if you ever thought of it maybe in those terms. It's like acting is the magic. When you're on, it's like that's when it happens. I don't know if that's the same idea or feeling you get, but I mean that's just my take on it.
But nah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So then, when they called up your mother and asked for you instead of your brother, so did you sort of get the feeling of maybe she was saying in the back of her mind, "Are you sure you got the right kid?"
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. She had no shame because at the audition, the casting director knew my brother because he worked with him before. So even
Okay.
at the audition, he came out into the waiting room and it was like, "Oh, hey, little Demetrius, like come in the audition before it's your turn to audition and let's audition all these other people." And you could watch from behind the scenes. I was like, right in front of me. I'm 10 years old.
Oh my
I'm sitting,
God.
he already booked it, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna go in and do my thing. I already feel like this is not my job, but I'm gonna try my best anyway. And that's
Right.
the job over him. So of course, when the phone rang, my mom and everyone didn't think it was for me. But
Yeah,
that me to be like, you know what? No, I'm gonna book it. You
that's
think my
right.
brother? No,
That's
I
right.
bought this one,
That's
and
right.
I
Well, with that attitude that you just displayed, now I know that why you're booking what you do. You got the thing going on and this and that. And it's like you got like the total attitude, for acting and that. So I mean, anybody that sees you, doing all this, of course, I can't do it like you do because I don't have any hair to flick and this and that. But no, I can totally see it. Yeah, yeah. So, uh, so just going back to that special event there that you attended, that convention. So when they have all this young talent there, so you can, since you came up sort of the same ladder, so to speak, you could probably see maybe bits and pieces of yourself in each of those youngsters that were there that night.
absolutely, absolutely. And IMTA, they invite me every 6 months. It's in January and in July. And
Oh, okay.
uh, events in the past where some acting coaches are hosting a workshop that I've taken when I was a kid. So they invite me to be part of their workshop and like speak to the talent at the IM.
Okay.
And I tell them how my journey was and how shy I was and like you have to be strong and confident and da da da. Like I give them my advice and I see myself in so many of them. I even see myself in some of them that get no awards because when I first went to the IMTA, like I was shy. My
Right,
brother
right.
won model of the year and I didn't win the very many things because
Yeah.
I was that shy kid and I was like, okay. So I see people that have so much potential and I'm just, trying to encourage them and tell them, if you don't win anything, it's not a big deal because it's not about the awards. Although
Yeah.
my brother won the biggest award out there, he actually doesn't want to be an actor or model and he doesn't do it anymore. He's working behind the scenes as a manager.
Oh,
I'm the
wow.
one win anything, that's still pushing and hustling, and this is what I want to do. Actually want to do it will succeed, and now I am succeeding, and I am back at the IMTA as an alumni sharing
Yeah,
my because I didn't give up. You can't give up. If this
no,
is
yeah, yeah. So now you're in the forefront, and your brother is in the back by choice, but you're in the forefront, and he's in the background by choice, though, right? So it's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So you probably never expected the tables to turn like that in the future, right? When you were like you were saying you were so shy.
Yeah, and he was so outgoing, and now he's more of the not that he's shy, but he's more internal, and I'm the extrovert now. So the tables definitely switched, both
Right,
of them.
right, right. Yeah, you were saying about the way like actors or models act like when they're on. I can remember a long time ago when I first started, I was like just like local community theater, and I don't know, it was some comedy, and I love to do comedies too. And it's like when I came off stage and I went backstage, one of the people in the cast said, "My God, you must be a riot every single minute at home." And it's like, I'm not like this all the time. I mean, it's not like you're on 24 hours a day, right? You just
Yeah,
get it out there when you have to, right?
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Maybe that's why I was growing up as an introvert because I was like holding all that energy in and then just turn it,
Yeah,
hold it back in so it could gain strength. That's probably
yeah, yeah. And then when you were ready to all let it go, you just like burst on the scene, and it's like, I'm Helena-Alexis, here I am.
yeah,
Take it for what it's worth, right? Or what I mean, something like that. So
totally.
yeah. Um, yeah, when I read that in your post about that event, I thought that was, just absolutely great about, how they say today, giving back after you've attained your goals and giving back like that. And um, kind of moving away from modeling, but still within your toolbox, like they say. Um, you recently attended the season 3 premiere of the Chronicles of Jessica Wu, and congratulations on playing the role of Jessica Wu in that series. Congratulations. And that show is in its third season now, and it's on Amazon Prime. That's right, Amazon Prime now,
And Tubi.
and Tubi, and well, it's Tubi, and it's also coming to Apple TV. So, could could you tell us maybe a little bit about that show, and along with that, how did you well, you already sort of explained about the acting, how you got into the acting, but when you got that role, um, how did you feel about it? And that's probably one of the more major reasons why you got into acting, was with that role where you landed the lead role in that program.
That's not the reason I got into acting because, like I said, I've been acting since I was 10 and now I'm in my 30s. So, like, and Jessica Wu, I booked that about 5 years ago, season 2. So I
Okay.
was deep into acting when I booked that. It was more of this was the reason that I decided to, one of the reasons why I decided to fully stay in Los Angeles because I was kind of, I'm Canadian. So I was kind of going back and forth with my
Oh,
and be like, oh, we'll see. And then when I booked Jessica Wu, that's what was like, okay, LA wants me. I'm going to move here for real. I'm going to stay. I'm going to find my own apartment. And that's
yeah.
how that, but I was
Okay.
already but Jessica Wu show, Jessica is a autistic superhero. She was very kind of like me, nonverbal and introverted and shy growing up and had a hard time making eye contact. And then she slowly, her mother passed away and she was being raised by her stepfather who was very abusive. And then she met David Wu, who was the father of this other character that you'll see on the show that we don't get along so well.
Okay.
And he adopted me and he started teaching me martial arts. And the martial arts gave me the confidence, and it got me more out of my shell and started to talk a little bit more. And so he actually owns a restaurant. So once he passed away, someone killed him, and we find out in season 3 who killed him. I took over the restaurant. So working a normal job, you know, and getting out in the community and saving the world with my, you know, alter ego equation. So
Right.
this helped Jessica come out of her shell and be more verbal and, you know, think her autism, which is a superpower. She used it for her mental, incredible capabilities to solve problems and crimes. So that's what Jessica Wu is about. But my audition, I went in there because I know some people that are on the autistic spectrum, but I
Mhm.
know that they're all different. So I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, did a whole bunch of research, and took little bits and pieces of, you know, qualities that people have on the spectrum. I watched The Good Doctor and Atypical on Netflix, tried to really get an understanding of it, and then I created my own character. And so
Okay.
I actually watched season 1 of Jessica Wu as well, because there was a season previous before they casted me.
Hmm.
And when I went to the audition, the whole cast was there. So I was like, oh, hey, I know you and I know you and you're the and I'm ready for this audition. So I kind of won the room just by my presence and my and
Okay.
then when I actually did the audition and really, you know, nailed it, they were like, oh wow, this is Jessica. And
This is the one. Yeah.
the producers told me that they had to turn my headshot over so they wouldn't look at it with everyone else that come to audition, because they knew that it was me. But they're like, okay, no, I can't. I have to take time and give everyone the equal benefit. Just, you know, see how everyone else is. But this headshot right in front of me is Jessica. After hearing that, it made me feel great, because I feel like I did put everything into this character, and it feels so great to see it pay off and people really connect to her as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that when you describe the feeling of when you first seen everybody in the cast all in a group right in front of you. I mean that must have been like an absolutely wild experience, like almost surreal. Like I've seen all these people on TV, and now it's like I'm actually seeing them in person, and I'm one of them now. Is that sort of
Well,
sum up with what was going on in your mind?
I don't get starstruck usually. It was more of like I didn't expect them to be in the room for the audition, because casting directors are usually the ones that hold the audition. And then if you get a call back or they want to see you a second time because they're not sure if they like you, but they know that it's between you and a few other people,
Right,
the
right.
director and the producers and things in the room. And it's like as a group, they so seeing them on the first round, I was like, oh, hey guys. So let's do this properly the first time. It was a little bit
But
intimidating because you see them all there, but it wasn't it was like they're all human. Like we're all human, and to be
right.
part of it feels great. It feels like family. Felt like I knew them already when I walked into the audition room. So yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't a starstruck feeling. It was more of a surprise. We're all here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, uh, say like the first day, very first day of filming, uh, I guess since you felt all that friendliness when you first met them in the room like that, so it must be like on film when you started filming, it must have been like everybody just gelled, right? I mean, like you were saying, a family. So it's like everything clicked right in the right places.
Really was. Now that you mentioned it, there was just a naturalness of being on set. Like we have done this before. We worked together before energetically, maybe in a past life. Like it felt really natural, and we did gel.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just comfortable. It was perfect.
Yeah.
There wasn't any nervousness. Like even me being the lead actress, because I was replacing a previous Jessica, and they
Oh,
already like in season 1 friends with each other, and here's this new girl like, hi, I'm the new lead. I didn't feel intimidated, I didn't feel uncomfortable. They made me feel very welcome. It's a very loving cast, and like I said, like we probably worked together in a past life because we came together so naturally. It was amazing.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what I think? I mean, I think the thing that helped a lot was like your approach and your good energetic attitude when you first met them. I think that's probably what made everything a lot better, and not like you were saying, there's no nervousness, no Star Trek. So I I th I think all of that came from came from, you know, like radiated right from you, you know, and so that's what helped to create that like relaxed atmosphere like that. So
Yeah.
that is that sort of something safe to say that you were also feeling that you felt the energy and you felt that yeah, I got this, right? So that probably spilled over on them too, right?
It's not a conscious thing that we think of, but now that you mention it, it's about the self-love again. It always comes back. Like I felt confident, I did the research, I was ready to play Jessica. I was already in the mental headspace to play Jessica. I loved myself enough to do the work and be confident in the work that I did. So that probably did radiate outwards where they
Yeah,
trusted me, they had confidence in me and they could be confident in the work that they did and we could confidently all come together and just do amazing work. So
yeah,
maybe because self-love does radiate outwards and the more you love
that's
yourself the more others will love themselves just by being around you, so
that's
maybe.
right, that's right. And then since you mentioned about the confidence, um, probably it's more of like also a feeling is like I was meant to do this, right? I mean, not only I mean, in my opinion, the confidence comes from I want to do this. I was meant to do this, so it's like let's go, you know?
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel that's exactly, like, maybe there is a knowing with every job that we book or every relationship we get into. There's a knowing that we already signed up for this before we came down on earth. So once you do get it,
that's
you're like,
right.
yeah, okay, this is it. I feel confident, comfortable, like, yeah, let's go. It
Yeah.
wasn't this feeling. It's like, yeah, about right time for this to happen. Let's
I'm it's probably sort of like a feeling. Well, it's like I'm not waiting for the stars to align. I'm not pushing the stars to the line. It's like the stars are just all aligning all themselves, and everything is just converging at one point. We're all here at the same time in the same space in the same day, and it was just meant to be. That's all.
it meant to be.
That's the way
For
that I look at it. So
yeah.
yeah, no, that's well, I hope you have another 3 seasons and another 3 seasons after that, and as far as the series will go, as far as you can take it. So yeah, it's it's absolutely great when you know something gels like that, and it just keeps going on, and people love it, and it's popular. It remains being popular, and sticking with the topic of Jessica Wu, uh, I seen in a Facebook post that you had, and I mean, uh, I was absolutely in awe of this. I mean, besides like your acting in it, and you know, having the lead role, it's like it. You mentioned in the post that you do all of your own kickboxing and you do all of your stunts. And I thought that was like, you know, that was like absolutely amazing. And so that got me to thinking that have a lot of additional acting opportunities become available since you do all these stunts and kickboxing. I imagine a lot of roles have just opened up and become available to you.
Yeah, definitely. So I picked up kickboxing because I was trying to manifest a role where I could kick some ass. Like a Tomb Raider, Angelina Jolie type of chick.
Right, right.
So I started kickboxing, and 2 years later, I got the audition for Jessica Wu, where they said they needed you to have martial arts training, like background. And I was like,
Oh.
perfect, this is it. And then I booked it. And so that was the beginning of my like doing my own stunts on set. And yes, after that, I booked another film that's out right now called Exceptional Beings, where I also had to do some stunt work on my own. So now that I've opened up myself to it and put on my resume, but energetically, like asking the universe, like, this is what I want. So I'm going to take the classes and I hope you deliver me some gift because of it.
Yeah,
And the did. So I feel like that's what we all need to do. Like, we can't just be like, oh, I would love to be a Power Ranger, and learn how to fight. Well, then go learn how to fight, and then maybe the audition to be a Power Ranger will come after because you're ready.
That's
We
right.
can't
That's
hope
right.
without preparing for the gift.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, I literally manifested that, and I'm grateful that that came around and that more opportunities have come around, because this is something that I want, and I could see myself taking the correct steps so the universe can deliver the exact specific gifts that I'm looking for.
Right, right. So it probably wouldn't be too uh far to extrapolate from that there probably will um be movies like say like a kickboxing feature film or uh WWE, would that be in your realm or in your wheelhouse related to all that stunt and kickboxing that you do?
Movie or something, but I've been on WWE before as one of the wrestlers, like little ladies for behind the scenes the WrestleMania stunt back in like the year 2000. So
Oh,
I've
okay.
improv things for the WWE, but if they did a movie where they needed like a wrestler, I would totally play a wrestler.
I know you would. Just the way you describe yourself and what you do and how you think, I know you would. I know that you would absolutely have no reservations. It's like about let's let's do this, right?
In Triple H tag team, that's my favorite wrestler.
So, would you do a movie that would feature just an individual fighter or like a tag team duo, or does it doesn't matter just as long as you got to do your stuff?
Yes, as long as I'm kicking ass, I don't alone or with the partner. We just want to fight. I love it. I
That's
love
right. That's right. That's right. And they could probably even make an extra reel about that. Say the film would be popular enough, and to make it even more popular, maybe they could do say like a behind the scenes, right? It's like how she is preparing for this film and what is she going through before she actually gets in the ring when the camera starts rolling, right? Something like a not a blooper, but like a behind the scenes.
totally,
So,
just like musicians have behind the scenes of them like on the road for their tours. I would totally
yeah,
like show them my workouts, how I get prepped for this, my stunt training, my meal prepping, because it's not just like you learn to kickbox and then you're on set. Like for
right.
sure, journey towards it and get my body in the ultimate shape so I can perform at the ultimate. Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
awesome.
right. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, do you envision that probably that would be, say, roles that would be equal to, say, like traditional acting roles, say, like, like drama and having roles in stunts or kickboxing, but you would probably take anything that came along, right? It's like you wouldn't favor any one than the other as long as something came around. It's like, okay, let's do it, right? Let's do this, whatever it is, give it to me, right?
Well, I mean, I have my boundaries, but
Oh yeah, naturally, yeah.
yes, for sure, I would definitely consider it. If it's something that resonates with me, definitely. Yeah.
Well, at least you've got those options, versus somebody that doesn't have any of that experience. So at least you got the options to pick and choose like that. So
Yeah.
sticking with the physical side of your acting, the kickboxing and stunt work and things like that. Um, I've also seen that you posted about being a certified yoga sculpt instructor, and I thought that was I thought that was really interesting in addition to the other things you do. So, um, are you pursuing, say, that as like an additional career, in addition to like your modeling? and you're acting sort of as a way of staying in shape for all these stunts that you do in your part, in
Well,
your roles?
I started practicing yoga, like Ashtanga yoga, flow yoga, 17 years ago. And I feel like I was probably a yogi in a past life because I was always flexible and I was doing like the splits in my crib as a baby. My mom would roll over in my bed. She's like, "Who turned her over? This is crazy." So yoga for me came very naturally. And then for the past like 17 years, I've had instructors come up and say, like, you need to start teaching. You need to teach. Are you a teacher? You'd be great at this. And I was like, nah, I don't really need to teach. Like, I love practicing, but I need to teach.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it's like, you know what? I think I'm going to take a teacher training. I'm going to do it. So it was all my favorite mentors at my yoga studio, and the class was being held 5 minutes from my house. It was like everything aligned perfectly. I'm like, this is,
Wow.
just do it. And
Wow.
I that I did. I had the best time. I learned more than I thought I would ever learn. It was the best experience. And so now I am doing just like free classes in Canada because I'm from Canada. So when I go visit, I'll just do little drop in classes to get people into it. So eventually I'll start teaching fully, maybe online,
Okay.
maybe at a studio, we'll see, but not quite yet. Just kind of doing little free things to get people interested in it. And
Right.
get my name out there, especially to my Canadian friends that I love so much.
Uh-huh.
Of course, like my big vision in the end is maybe host retreats and like travel with it. And,
There you go.
really is to just open people's eyes up to more of themselves. Because yoga, when I started, I was in a very dark place. I was sad and depressed and just flex, like being able to stretch out my body and find flexibility and find my breath and breathe and find peace of mind after class every single day. I couldn't stand loud music. I couldn't stand people talking loudly. It was like I was in such a zen state
Oh,
that
wow.
was too loud or too obnoxious, I just had to walk away from it. And so the more I practiced yoga, the more that feeling of peace would be with me. And I was like, wow, like yoga really transforms you from the inside out,
Yeah.
whether you not, like it just does.
Yeah.
So I love to give back in that sense with my yoga. And that's why I'm offering free classes for now, because I just want people to do it, just to try it, just to see the transformation that could happen within themselves. And
Okay.
love that they find that they'll continue to pursue it and fall in love with it the same way I did.
Mm-hmm. So those classes that you're talking about, are they actually in line or in person, or are they also online, or is
Well,
it just in person for now?
no, for now, I have only been doing them when I go back to Canada for visits.
Okay.
Literally just got my teacher training a month ago, so I'm still like, creating my persona, you could say, as a yoga instructor, and my playlist and my music and all of that things. So I'm kind of just offering it for free to my Canadians when I go back. So I'm going back again next week, and I have another class coming up, a glow flow with like rave lights. So we make it fun, but
Oh, okay.
it's in person in Canada, and then eventually it'll be online and it'll be offered to other people in the world.
Yeah, yeah. So, since they're like only on or in person right now, um, are they uh your classes giving uh inside, or do you have like an outside setting sometime, or is it just like in a studio where you
Well,
do the
because in Canada it's still winter, so
Oh
there's snow
yeah, no, yeah, yeah.
inside, and with my glow flow with the rave lights and the glow sticks inside,
Okay.
so lights on. But of
Yeah.
course, like when I go back in the summer to visit, we could totally do like an outside yoga in the park.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that that's more like what I was trying to say. What I was trying to get at is that if you don't do it now, that you were thinking about doing it in the future, about taking it outside like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I'm taking baby steps and just warming people up to it slowly,
yeah.
slowly. Yeah.
Could there also be in the future, like Helena-Alexis on the road yoga sculpting? Would that be out of the realm of possibility or no?
That sounds fun. Like take my yoga on the road and travel.
Well, this show of mine, different episodes aren't always like here on Zoom. Like I'll have Edward Osredkar's entertainer chat on the fly, on the go, and like if I happen to interview somebody outside of this Zoom box, I just say on the fly, and I just call it on the fly. So uh,
Love
you could,
to.
yeah.
I will definitely hold that idea for the future and just do like little road trips, like tour around the Canadas.
I think that would be awesome if you did that. You know, it's like you know, you put an ad out and it's like, who's coming through today? Well, Helena-Alexis, she's taking her on the road yoga sculpting class. She's coming through town today. We got it. We got to take it. We got to be there. So I think you could get everybody excited about that, you know. And
I'm going to do that. Thank you for that.
maybe I can take. I don't know how many ways I could bend or if I could bend it all, but I don't even know if I'd want to try it at my age, but it sounds something fun to think about. Let's put it that way. I can think about bending more than I can bend, so I'll just kind of leave it at that. So
Sounds fine.
so
You have to class, I'll get you more flexible.
well, could I have an open invitation to one of those classes? Say like even if I just come and don't bend and kind of like bend in my mind or something, or
Shavasana the whole time. That's fine.
okay, just bring in a chair or a stool and a bench or something, and I'll just say, okay, left, right, okay, get out the box, step up, step down, step up, step down, or something. So
Poses, just meditate on them.
okay. And I'll bring I can bring all my friends that don't bend either, so they can do like
Yeah.
yeah, like a mental bend or something like that. So yeah, no, there'd be a lot of possibilities, with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The more possibilities, the better. The more options, the better. The more to keep you in the public eye to show them more and more what you could do. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking about more and different kind of things to do. Um, you also, I'm assuming, so maybe I'm assuming wrong, but I see some posts, not a lot of posts, but I see some posts where you're pictured with holding a dog, and I just wondered, and maybe my viewers wonder that too. Um, is that is that actually your dog?
Yeah. My dog.
Okay,
So Zeus is, how old is he? He's 8. No, he just turned 9 in September.
okay, that's a great name, Zeus. That's a great name.
Well, I'm half Greek, so I had to
Okay,
God, and who's the more powerful god of all the gods than Zeus? So
right.
Zeus. I have the Greek evil eye tattooed on my wrist, my brother's name in Greek, so you can see I'm so.
Oh, okay,
My brother has my
okay,
name tattooed in Greek and the evil eye as well. So match.
okay. Cool. So, you said he's 8 years old, and so what kind of breed of dog is it, or is he?
He's a phantom poodle with chocolate and peanut butter colors. So
Oh,
but his mouth, his beard is a little bit lighter brown, like a peanut butter. The tips of his paws, peanut butter, and his eyebrows are lighter.
okay. That,
Poodle this big, super cute.
okay. So that's sort of like a breed that's they say it's like a poodle and something else mix.
No,
Like
he's a poodle, pure poodle, but a phantom poodle means his colors like Phantom of the Opera with the mask.
okay, I got you.
Looks like he's wearing like a mask, so that's
Okay,
but he's
okay.
pure poodle.
Yeah. And how about is he well behaved, or does he try to get away with anything he can?
Zeus is the king of the gods, so he knows it. He doesn't. He's not mischievous. He's not a bad boy, but he definitely is confident. So, for example, like when he was a puppy and we would lock up the puppies in the little gate while we went out for dinner or whatever, he would find out how to open the gate with his little paw and meet us at the door when we come home. Meanwhile, all the other puppies are locked up like good boys and girls, and he's like, "Ah, I figured out how to get out of here! Woo! You can't." That's his personality. He's a rebel, but like he doesn't mean any harm. He's just like, how can I escape? It
Right,
sounds like
right.
up for the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into trouble, but I just want to see, I just want to show her how smart I am, right? How much I can get away with without crossing the boundary.
That's it. He likes to live on the edge without going too far, just like his mother. Just like his like, how far can I go without pissing people off? Okay,
That's right.
That's his mother too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he learned the best from his mother, right?
Yes, so that's
That's
it.
right. So then you must have had him like from a real small little puppy then?
Absolutely. I helped his actual mother give birth to him. So my parents,
Oh,
his parents, and
okay.
that she was, well, I had a feeling she was pregnant, but we didn't know that she was actually pregnant because we didn't see them up or anything, him and her and the father. And then next thing you know, 6 in the morning, one morning, she's delivering babies. And we woke up because my brother was visiting from Toronto. He was staying in the guest room and she was sleeping with him in the guest room. And he's like, oh my gosh, Preda's having puppies. Everybody wake up. Like, we need to handle this.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last one to be delivered, and I helped open the sack. And, so I
Oh,
actually
wow.
I always wanted a chocolate puppy, and they were all black, and there was one beige one, but he was the last one to come out, and he was chocolate. And I was like, oh, I'm keeping him. This is my dog. Like, this is my dog. So that's when I knew it was me and Zeus
Yeah.
forever.
Well, then in that instance again, the stars aligned, right? Everything came together there, and that it was destiny, right? It was just destiny.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that reminder. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No charge for that reminder. So, how about your brother? Did he take one of the puppies?
No, he didn't. My aunt took one. My mom's friend took one. My parents kept one. One didn't make it. And my cousin took one. So there's about five puppies. Well, there were six. One didn't make it. So five puppies, and they're all within the family. My brother actually has a pit bull. He's more of a pit
Oh,
bull
okay.
kind of a guy. So,
Okay.
yeah. And it's funny because the pit bull is afraid of the poodles, and the poodles shouldn't be afraid of the pit bull. Meanwhile, they're the bullies.
I
They're the
would,
bullies.
yeah, I was just going to ask you that. I says, if they were ever around the pit bull, I bet you the poodle would be the boss.
They're the boss. Zeus, like I said, he is the boss over Yamaya, my dog's my brother's pit bull. Yeah, she looks rough and tough, but she's the sweetest little
Oh
angel that
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, it's like what do they say? Like the small dogs, they're the ones that you have to watch out for. I mean, naturally watch out for the big dogs with the big jaws and the teeth in it, but it's like watch out for the small dogs, because it's like they can wind around your feet and they can get you in no time flat. They can just race around your feet and get you all confused and yeah, it's like watch out for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I would really like to thank you for being on my show today. It's been uh, absolute pleasure to interview you and talk with you. And like I've said, I've always seen so many of your posts, the runway and the acting and all the other different things that you do, and it's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you in the time that we've had here this afternoon, and I'm sure my viewers feel the same way. So, any any last thoughts that you'd like to leave us with, or
Um, my thing, like I said, is self-love. So I would say so many things, like speak your truth, go after your dreams. If this is what your heart desires, go into the acting, go into the modeling, follow your heart. But really it all comes back to self-love. Do you love yourself enough to pursue your dreams? Do you love yourself enough to take that kickboxing class to see what will happen after that? Do you love yourself to take the steps that you need to go after the things that you want to see happen for you in the end? So my biggest thing is, do you love yourself enough, and how can you love yourself more today so you can get what you want for tomorrow?
Good, good. You know, I mean, I'm not even going to add to that. I mean, that I'm just going to leave the show on a high note like that. I don't want to add to that. I'm not going to touch that one. I mean, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'll just leave. I'll just I'll just leave it like that. So yeah, it's been an extreme pleasure having you today, and thank all of you for watching this talk show segment of mine. Speaking with the absolutely awesome Helena-Alexis Seymour, actress, a runway model, a print model, yoga sculpt instructor, and kickboxer, and expert stunt film person and everything. So until we all meet again next time for another guest, you don't know who the guest is going to be next time. I guarantee you, Helena-Alexis, she doesn't know who the guest is, right? You don't know, right? Okay, you don't know. And I'm the only one that knows, so I'll keep that a secret till next time. So I'm your host, Edward S. Redcar of Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat. And until the next time, have a good day, and have a good week, and have a good month. And we'll see you next time.